is a deck that came out earlier this year called the Rose Tarot by Nigel Jackson, and it's published by Llewellyn. And I had really, I noticed it before it came out, and then it came out, and I was like, nah, maybe, no, I don't know. Should I get it? Should I not get it? It kept popping up in my feed. And finally, I was like, well, okay, I'll get it. And I kept adding it to my Amazon cart and adding it and adding it and adding it. And then I just never bought. I was like, no, I don't know. But I went to a bookstore. It was Second and Charles, where you can like turn in like used books and movies and games and stuff. And they give you like store credit or cash. And they had this they actually have tarot decks there. An okay variety. And I was like, this is the only one they had. I'm like, I gotta get it. It's meant to get it today, so I got it. And it's quite a lovely deck. It's in this beautiful sort of keepsake box with the magnetic clasp. It says, open the eye of the heart with the divine wisdom of the ages. This lovely deck is unique in the elegance of its line work, combined with the richness of its iconography. Author and artist Nigel Jackson developed the Rose Tarot based on his unparalleled experience in medieval Hermeticism, symbolism, and alchemy. And yes, it does have a bit of alchemy there. Well suited for oracle readings, cartomancy, and meditation. This powerful deck blends elements that we found in the Rider-Waite-Smith as well as Marseille, and a welcome addition to any collection. 78 cards, 240-page full color guidebook, and it has a lovely rose color and sort of a soft rose ribbon. Here's the book. Kind of heavy because it is glossy, and all the cards have their own page. And then there's a little glossary there, and of course some consulting the Rose Tarot. And then, Secrets of the Rose Tarot. And let's see, when it talks about, the major arcana, let's look at the Fool. Divinatory meanings are here. The Fool. The Fool depicts a youthful Christian rosy cross setting forth as an errant noble traveler. Notice he has the rosy cross symbols there. There's actually a little cat behind him. He's upon the initiatic journey to the Orient, the realm of the Orient, symbolically understood as the source of light, gnosis, and illumination. He wears a white linen coat with the St. Andrew's cross, formed by the red ribbon sash across his chest. The Pure Fool recalls the prototypal Grail seeker Seth, Adam's third son, who set out for paradise to recover the oil of mercy and the tree of life, and pass the whirling fiery swords at the Edenic gates, re-entering the garden to attain the Holy Grail vessel. So there's a lot of depth in these. And then let's switch to, let's do, this one's good, Ten of Batons. Ten of Batons stretches a heraldic panther in rampant posture beside which a lunar crescent is visible. Panther is a semi-fabulous beast of the medieval symbolists, incorporating elements of the leopard and other great felines, a royal beast of light. The panther was perceived as an emblem of Christ's divinity, and it emanated a perfume that attracted all creatures but powerfully dispelled dragons and snakes. Nimrod is associated with Nephilim and other antediluvian giant races. Is a symbol of immense power, but also tyranny, oppression, and cruelty. Antediluvian means like a deluge, and it's referring to the Great Flood. Antediluvian. You know, if you're familiar with the books of Enoch and the Nephilim, and the reason why the world was supposedly flooded, there you go. So we have this sort of keep. This actually held. Sometimes these don't hold. This little insert here, it looks like it's, I can pull it out if I want to. And I would also pull out the little ribbon, the little pinky ribbon that's there. there's the deck. So the back has the Rosicrucian symbol, the Rosy Cross, Rosicrucian. It is fairly reversible. There's no text or anything. The cards slide very easily. The cardstock, I feel, is maybe a bit thin. I wish I was familiar with like the grams of like, you know, what weight of paper it is. I'm familiar with 80-gram cardstock, 100-gram cardstock, 120-gram cardstock. I think this is not, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get better at that. Smooth, rounded edges, smooth. These are not bent. Possibly prone to chipping, I think. If mishandled, I can see a little bit of chipping occurring here and here on this first card. And let's look at the deck. And I'm going to, pardon my moving this around, I'm going to get a little closer look of this deck. There we go. So here, RCC, Rosicrucian, we have sort of a gender-neutral figure, male, maybe, possibly. Castle, castle, roses, cat, the sun. I love the font. The font is used consistently throughout. On the titles, not in the text of the book. That's just a serif font. And the line work, you see the little dots here and here. That is really nice. You can see these, there's the alchemical chimney, and we see symbols of elements and some Latin and Hebrew. So it combines, it's sort of a synthesis deck combining all sorts of things. From my experience, it seems extremely usable, and it's just lovely. I love the soft colors. There's nothing too overly bold. And I love the way the people are formed, and they're not terribly weird looking. I like them. High Priestess, white roses, 2 columns. Beautiful. I love the way the head has been treated. Symbol there in the book, turned towards you with her feet on the moon. Empress, we have sort of a Edwardian, Victorian feel. I believe it's Edwardian. Again, we have some symbols here. It looks like the Ace of Cups sitting right there as a fountain. 3 roses, swan, signet, and then we have alchemical apparati and a maze. Usually whenever you see mazes or walled gardens in reference to women, it usually means the virginity. And there is a walled garden here, but there's an opening. In paintings of the Renaissance where it's Mary in a garden and Gabriel's coming down the Annunciation, the walled garden does not have an opening. It's a symbol of protected virginity, untouched. Now some of these cards have actual historical names. Like this is Arceus right there. And some of the court cards you'll see have typical things. I like the tree growing on top of sort of the Roman aqueduct there. Fire. 2-headed. Johann Presbyter. Hierophant. We have the host there. We have a, what's the incense thing? Oh, I forget. The cup. 2 people. He's doing that. He's got 1 key. Papal crown. Lots of 3s. Now this is sort of the alchemical wedding. Familiar with the Splendor Solis. Reoccurring theme. Torch of knowledge. Sun and moon unite. A rose on fire. A king, a queen united. Oh, there's the church going off. That means it's 6 o'clock. Oh, no, it's 6:30. Here we have sort of angel wheels that sort of, and seraphim, cherubim, the host, the Holy Spirit, canopy of stars. We have 3 types of angels here. We have 1, 2, and 3. I believe this one is a seraphim, cherubim. Oh, I don't know. A wheel of Ezekiel. I'm not sure, but how they're described in the Bible. Justice, lots of stars, a white blank banner. The sword is sort of what it rests on, the tiny tippy point. Castles, night sky, lumen natura. Here we have the sort of a modified Ouroboros, a dragon, Star of Solomon, Seal of Solomon, cross, a shell, a light, a lantern, the wheel, Luna, Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Mercurius, Saturnus, and here we have the angels depicted in the typical, but we have this lovely hand doing the 2 fingers there, and we have a wheel here with the eyes, the multi-eyed wheel. Strength, the column. She's patting it on the face, but it doesn't look very happy, but yet it's not biting her. Castle in the back. Hanged man, the rainbow, grotto, upside down. The colors are so pretty, aren't they? I love this one because of that sun, the eclipse happening with the sun. You know, eclipses and the eclipse in a lot of the Romans, the Greeks always thought bad omens. An eclipse, bad omen, or it's the specific time to do something. A great storm could be an omen, a forbidding omen, things like that. I love the purple drapery, and it looks like it has little tiny sperms on it. We have a frog. I believe in alchemy the frog was thought to be hermaphroditic and would like replicate itself because it just has a cloaca. There's no external genitalia. We have a head of a king, hand and feet sticking out. Oh, here I'm not familiar with that shield. Temperance. I don't know what that is. Let's see. What does okay. Oh, let's see. Lily grows out of the water. The symbol illustrates what Swedenborg termed divine influx from heaven into the human being. Okay. Transmutation, almost water to wine. The host, the whole, drops to the moon, dew, all that good stuff. This one's interesting because it looks like there's 2 men chained. We have eyes, 2 pairs of eyes. There. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-headed beasts coming out of the back. Branches of, well, we have the traditional trident. Branches out of the head, look like coral. The tower, Tower of Babylon. Those 3 there, and we have a person with, woo, they were thrown out of there. Remember, the Tower of Babel was meant to reach heaven, and God got angry and struck it down, and everybody that fell out of the tower, I believe they were scattered into many nations, and they were meant to not understand how they could not understand each other. So their tongues were changed, so different dialects, different languages. If I'm remembering correctly. Of course, I haven't read the Bible in a billion years. Uh-oh. The star, l'étoile. Born on the earth. And there's the funny little bird. There it is. She has a flame coming out of her forehead. Very virginal, not pregnant. The moon. Genua and Fernie. We have two dogs. We have the crab. We have the drops of the moon. 3, 1, 2, 3, which you'll see recurring in this deck. Towers with no doors, only windows. One of the, I keep going off on tangents. It's 16 minutes in and I'm only on the moon. One of the exercises where you're supposed to put yourself in a card and open yourself up and see what's happening. When I did that the last time, one of the lights in one of the towers was on and the moon was full and there were shadows on the ground. I never see shadows. There's never really any shadows. Even though the moon is full, it usually, you don't really see them, whether it's just interpretation or what. Here the sun, we have the Lear. We have beautiful flowers, 2 swans. I love the sun. Judgment. This is almost like a sacrifice, but look at these people reaching up out of the ground, popping out. The angel Michael trumpeting. The world. Here we have the Lamb of Christ, which is a popular motif. And we have the angels there. And even the cherubims right there. As she stands in the world, almost like the Queen of Heaven, she has eyes on her wings. Really an interesting interpretation of the world. And you see it's almost like this sun cosmos behind her. And then a walled, almost labyrinth city leading to the Lamb, which represents the white purity, innocence, sacrificial of Jesus, sacrificial nature of Jesus. Ace of Cups, 4 rivers flowing. There's a heart. Whenever I think cups and hearts, I think heart's full of blood. A heart's emotional. You lead with your heart. You're leading with your emotions. And the minor arcana here, you'll notice that they are sort of vignetted and framed. And so it is combining a bit of Marseille with some alchemical references. Just a bit of a flavor. I actually really like this, the way that they're treated. We have a mermaid here. Not a siren, but a mermaid. 2 cups. 3 cups. I love the roses. A woman playing, sort of a lute. Lilies. Apple tree, just sort of dozing. A sleepy night or a bored night. Kind of like a little vignette right there. A storm blowing a ship, either making it go away from shore. Maybe they're leaving. The unicorn, and again we have the sort of a fountain of a chalice that we saw with the Empress. I don't understand this one. Raking water. The moon's there. I saw this one and I was like, what? To me, I know this isn't right, but it's almost like a sort of Rumpelstiltskin kind of character. Raking the water, the moon. It's almost like I'm expecting him. He's doing some sort of hoodoo thing, and he's going to ride off into... Well, I could reference the book. What does the book say? Broad-headed and cloaked countryman holding a rake, he is engaged in the curious task of attempting to retrieve The moon's reflection, okay, from the surface of the body of water, sometimes related of credulous peasantry of certain villages in folk tradition, such as the wise men of Gotham. The custom of moonraking also contains an esoteric demonstration of the distinction between appearance and reality. Paracelsus' dictum distinguishing the true visionary imaginal faculty from passive fantasy in most apposite fantasy is not imaginatio, but the cornerstone of fools. Fantasy. I didn't quite understand that. If you didn't, I didn't either. So he's trying to rake the moon out of the water. I see LDP on that bridge. 8. Nine of Cups. I love this the flaming heart. Here we have this. And then 10. Man and woman, a fountain flowing. Always a good card to get. And here we have Lahir. So these are going to be, there's the knave, queen, that's Judith, and the king, this one is Carolus. Very nice. There's the knight. He has no name. The horse. Judith. Of course, these are from history and myth. Carolus. And then we go to swords, the Ace of Swords. There's a little bee there. Two of Swords. Reminds you of the Papal Keys, Moon and Sun. Silver and Gold. The silver key and the gold key to the different phases of, is it the gates of, oh shoot. The silver phase, the gold phase. I'm not going to say it because I'll get it wrong. It deals with astrology. Oh, 3, the heart, the broken heart. Skull, time running out. Sobbing. There's that spermatozoa. Droplets. This Greek writing, Hebrew, name of God. Censer, that's what it's called. It's called a censer. The incense goes into a censer. Incense, censor. There we go. I knew I'd get it somewhere. The thing that the Catholic priests, they swing around. Here we have an Icarus, son of Daedalus. Flew too close to the sun, the wax melted on his wings, and he plunged to his death. A hooded figure with sort of a stern face, reminiscent of the hermit. There's graves in the back. A heraldic symbol. The griffin. Rapunzel-like character with a candle. You can see the 3, the try there. 1, 2, 3. Goblins flying above the. Their lights are on. Sort of a sleepy, nightmarish sort of thing going on, ready to pick their next victim. And we have the god Pan over some ruins, playing a flute, not a pan, but a flute. So he's a satyr, maybe not necessarily Pan, but a satyr nonetheless. Ogier, love those curls. Castle, Ogier, the knave, knight, palace, the fleur-de-lis there, golden throne, the owl, Pallas Athena, Goddess of War, sword, yes, connections. King David, he has a harp, a sword, looking right at you. Ace of Batons, Le Baton. Two of Batons, beautiful world there with a cross, a crown. Three of Batons. White ship, it's very white. A person making 4 batons. 4, usually you see that with the Emperor, the symbol 4. Okay, so there's a compass there. Could be St. George and the Dragon. He's got a club though, not a lance. Usually you see a lance and he's on a horse. Star of David, fire, water, arrow. So arrow for air, a palm frond for earth, fire and water. Oh, of course we see Hercules here with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think the Hydra. He has the skin of a lion on him. And the club, Herculean tasks. The rabbits, finally we see rabbits, a shooting star. It's a fun card. I love the rabbits there. And rabbits, of course, they have rich symbolism, trickery, reproduction. They're fast, they're nimble, trickster, and they're white. An elephant. There's a 4 there. Knight. There's that one we talked about earlier. Sort of the leopard. This is Lancelot. Knave of batons. Knight. Batons. Argine, she's got 2 keys there. Alexander, referencing Alexander the Great, I believe. He's got the little club there. Club. Feet are on a pillow. And the last suit is, of course, coins, oak leaves and acorns, earth, a modified siren there. I think my camera is going to heat up. 3 bees. A little cross there. The coins can also be seen as hosts. 4 of coins, but there's person praying with, looks like 4 the archangels with different things. Swords. And there's the name of God. A fortress. Looks like a cardinal, maybe? Going around. 6 of coins, sowing coins in a field. That's not really going to get you anywhere, but you can try. Maybe throwing money away. Sleepy man, sleep on drink. He's sleeping by a river. Kind of dangerous, don't do that. Propping himself up. Weighing the elements. Converting lead into gold. We have some alchemical instruments there. Gold in the forefront. Measuring that gold out. Money, keeping it. Counting it. Obsessing over it. Not only does he have a chest there, he's got a chest beside him. He's in purple, which usually signifies royalty. 10. A fruited tree, which you see a lot of in the Splendor Solis, the tree with the sort of symmetrical Sephiroth on the branch, on the leaves and everything. Horn of Plenty. Here is Hector, Greek mythology. That's from the Aeneid, I believe. Not the Iliad, but the Aeneid. Could be wrong. Knight of Coins. Purple Plumes. The Queen is Rachel, Queen of... I think she's biblical. And Julius Caesar. That Caesar never looked that good. That's King Coins, and that is it. I'm glad I bought this deck. It's a lovely deck. It seems like it's very useful. It has a lot of influences. Really neat. I love the artwork. I don't know, what do you think of it? I was really happy I got it, and it just kept popping up, and I'm like, it's talking to me. It really wants me to buy it. And I did. Anyway, I will not bore you with a poem, even though it is October and Halloween's coming up. Okay, I got one anyway. I will bore you with a poem. A very short one, very short. This one's called Windy Nights by Robert Louis Stevenson. Whenever the moon and the stars are set, whenever the wind is high, all night long in the dark and wet, a man goes riding by. Late in the night when the fires are out, why does he gallop and gallop about? Whenever the trees are crying aloud, and ships are tossed at sea, by on the highway, low and loud, by at the gallop goes he. By at the gallop goes he. By at the gallop he goes, and then by he comes back at the gallop again. I almost got through that without getting tongue-tied. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, of course, and I hope you enjoyed my sort of walkthrough of the Rose Tarot by Nigel Jackson.